Steal this build for sure. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing this morning? We're talking about one of the best champions in the game, maybe still an underrated champion, Riho Bonespear. If you have this chick on your account and you're using her, certainly you know she is not underrated. But I still think that people sometimes don't give her the credit she deserves. So if you're using her, if you are, have a similar build to mine, put your hand up in the comments so that we know. But I think what you guys are going to see is this is a very common champion, especially in a lot of the content you might be struggling with. And tomorrow we have an event starting in order to be able to get her. We have the Progressive Chance event today for Shu Zhen, who is absolutely ridiculous. I just recommend as fast as possible on her, and then pairing her with any nuker champion who she can boost and give attacks right away. So tomorrow in this spot is going to be Riho Bonespear. And so I wanted to put this video out today so that you can prepare, think about whether you want to pull or not. But I think that Riho is almost an essential champion for every account, right? Whenever you're coming up through the game, the #1 champion I recommend is Fane for Clan Boss. As long as you have a survivable team, she can help in a lot of areas of the game because of this decreased defense and weaken ability. Then, whenever you want to transition a lot of those same things over to endgame teams, what you really need is Riho, because Riho does the same exact thing, but has more debuffs, and we're going to talk about why that's important. The second reason why she's important is because of this cleanse. This is a very powerful cleanse ability, and in addition, it's going to put block debuffs. She has an A1 that can help heal as well. It's not the power of her kit. And she has this really cool reflecting debuffs back onto the attacker, which is also really cool. She's a support-based champion, but all of her abilities are based on attack. So she can actually do pretty good damage for you if you're boosting this low attack. Now, where are you going to want to use her? Let's go show that, and then I will jump into the build, and you guys can tell me where you use her in the comments below as well. The two most important places I've been using her is Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun. I'm probably going to be farming some of these today during Clan versus Clan because they are the ones that have boosted points. So if you see here, we have Sand Devil, 2x points, Phantom Shogun, 2x points, and then the third one is Forge, which is great timing because my Forge is overflowing. I definitely need to do some of that during CVC. Now, what makes Riho so different from any other champion who does decrease defense and weaken? It's really those debuffs, okay? She is the one who's going to allow us to really speed clear this boss, okay? Because she's putting up those decreased defense, weaken, and all the other debuffs on the boss guide, you're going to see that, well, let me see. Actually, let me find it. Okay, it's this passive right here. The rest for the Wicked passive, the damage reduction is decreased by 10% for each debuff that he's currently under. So we need all of these debuffs to make him easier to kill. Okay, and what you're going to see is all of these endgame builds are running newts or multiple newts. We have a Bellinor in there, which is very interesting. So you can do this if you don't have Riho, but what you're going to see is it's very good and efficient with her. So let's come in here and make sure I didn't steal gear from anyone. But otherwise, this should be a very quick run. I have dedicated videos on all of these teams. I'll try to link some of them at the end of the video in case you have not seen them. Muted myself there for the sneeze. I didn't want to take the fight off of the camera. But you can see we basically just do everything and then reset and then do it again, 23 seconds. Best time 19 seconds, and then apparently we have this on auto, so you get to see it a second time in case you missed it the first time, because it was pretty quick. And then, you know, when I've been doing takeovers for Sanddevil, she's the main champion that I've been looking for on people's accounts. If you don't have her, this type of team is very difficult to make. It's very difficult to make if you don't have her. And so I think that a lot of people should actually be pulling for her. I don't recommend that most of the time on a 10x, whatever, 25x. But in this case, I definitely do because of the power that she brings to both of these two teams. Now, if you don't have Sanddevil or Phantom Shogun teams, you know I'm a huge proponent of that. And Riho is so good in this boss because not only does she do the decreased defense and weaken, but she brings the cleanse with that. Otherwise, you have to bring a different champion instead. And then she has this perfectly timed to do this cleanse. And again, 19 seconds. Best time 16 seconds. And all of this is so quick, so consistent, and it will allow you to speed farm these two dungeons. And then the third place I want to showcase her is going to be in the Scarab King. And then we're going to talk about the other places where you can use her as well. Big shout out to my girl Krutrexa. This is about a 2-minute run. Let's go ahead and watch that. What I'm going to do is probably pause and speed up the waves. Her point is not on the waves. We're just going to like go through and piddle around with everybody's abilities until we get to the Scarab King. And then Riho is going to come in there and show off her power. Alright, now when we get to the boss, Rio's going to put up the decreased defense and weaken, which is a very underrated debuff for the Scarab King. A lot of times we completely ignore that, but we can actually still come in here and put that up. That's going to help us get through the shield even faster. Okay, and then what you're going to see is some of these damage dealers are in destroy gear, so we're going to break through that shield, and then Newt is going to murder this boss. He is going to absolutely wreck the Scarab's health total. He's also helping control the turn meter, okay? And this boss, he can steal the debuffs, or I mean the buffs, and put up the debuffs, and then Rio's going to come in and cleanse us here. So she's really using the full power of her kit against this boss. And from what I've seen in the comments and talking to some other people, this is a reasonably fast time for the top level of Scarab here. If you have a faster team than this, please let me know. And if you want the full breakdown on this team, I did a video on it recently as well, okay? Now, I have literally never seen this team fail, so obviously it's going to do so in the video. Never seen it happen. I have never seen it happen. It's been 100%. Okay, well that's pretty funny. Hold on, I'll get it right back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like I said, I tested this team a bunch, and it didn't fail ever. I've never seen it fail. But regardless, you know, whenever you're recording, you guys probably don't know this, but whenever you're recording, this type of stuff does tend to happen. You know, the 3%, 1%, 2%. Small percentage things come out to play. Either way, the most important thing is that Riho putting the decreased defense and weaken there, as well as cleansing, is what really holds this team together. Let's go ahead and jump into where else you can use her and the build that I recommend for her. Alright, so I never come to this screen really, but we're on the rating screen. And the reason why I want to come here is because, like, look at her ratings in the game. She's got to be one of the highest rated champions overall in the entire game because you can literally use her everywhere. She's actually very good in Clan Boss. I had her on the free-to-play everyday account that we recently did earlier this year. So if you want to see her in more of an early game setting, I would encourage you to go check out that playlist. She's going to be great in Arena as well because she can cleanse and throw those debuffs back. She can help you in your Go Second teams. Obviously, she's very good in Faction War. In Dragon, I would say she's good on the normal side very well. I don't think that we need to use her on the hard side. And then all of these other places, we can use her as well. Don't recommend using her in Fire Knight. That's probably her weakest area. Iron Twins, that's interesting. I had not thought about using her there. But you can see Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun down here, both 4.9s. I used her in Hydra on that free-to-play account as well. So there were so many places where she can be used. Where I use her, where you can use her. I think she's one of the most powerful champions in the game because of all of the aspects of her kit. Now, I have her in a Blood Shield accessory just for that Scarab boss. If you're not using her in Scarab, you don't need that. And then I like her in a 6-piece Perception because we need to get over 500 accuracy for Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun. I used to run her a little bit slower than this, but making my champions faster, I kept making her faster to accommodate. She just has to be the fastest one in the team. She needs to go first. So if your champions are 250, make her 255. Okay, and that would probably be the slowest I'd recommend having her. This is definitely for an endgame build if that's what you're looking for. If you're not having an endgame build for her, then you can put her at whatever speed you want. Like, I think even on the free-to-play account, I had her at 223, something like that, so that she could be on a 4-3 ratio for Clan Boss and have that decreased defense and weaken all those other abilities up there consistently throughout that fight. Let me know what you think about the Riho build guide uses in the game. Are you going to be pulling for her? Obviously, I have one on my account here. The only way I was able to get that was from the guaranteed champion event back in the day. I've never opened a second copy, I don't believe. So hopefully you'll be getting yours tomorrow and then contacting me for your builds for takeovers in whatever you're struggling with. Thank you so much. Check out the website if you're looking for prices on those takeovers, and good luck if you're pulling for her tomorrow. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.